Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm done. Hey everyone, my name is Giselle, co-host of the Strong Sunflowers podcast and founder of G is for Growth. And today we're gonna talk a little bit about the evolution of love. As a 27-year-old woman, my vision of what love is supposed to look like has changed definitely throughout the years. So we're gonna dig in because back in the day, I never dated. I was always that one ugly duckling that hanged out with, like, in my mind, what I thought were beautiful other people. I never really considered myself as beautiful. And I was always the third wheel. I never had a boyfriend through middle school, high school. I never dated. I just let that stuff to the beautiful girls, you know, to my friends. And I was just the third wheel all the time. The only time that I felt beautiful was when I would put pounds of makeup on and get all dolled up and do my hair, and then that's when I would feel beautiful. But all the other times I was like, I'm gonna leave the dating to y'all, beautiful people. I grew up in a very religious background. I wasn't born into Mormonism, but I became a Mormon at the age of like 13. So no shame to that. I appreciate everything that I learned from that experience in my life. But oh my gosh, we were definitely taught to think of marriage. Marriage was the first priority. That's what we were always thinking about. Oh my gosh, we're gonna get married. We're gonna get married. And that is the major goal. And when you mix that with someone that's already insecure about themselves and about who they are and what they want in life, and has always been kind of like in the background, you know, has never played main solo character energy, I ended up marrying my first boyfriend. I literally got engaged 5 months of us dating and then got married at our 1-year anniversary. And I can honestly say that I married my best friend. I married the first guy to ever make me feel beautiful. I married the first guy to ever make me feel seen. And looking back at it, I'm like, wow, you know, when you don't have that self-love, by the way, I just did a video about self-love. You should go check it out. Self-love and why it's so important. But when you don't feel beautiful from within, from yourself, it's very easy to get caught up when other people make you feel beautiful and seen and gorgeous. So that's how that went. So I ended up marrying my best friend and my first boyfriend. And especially what really attracted me to that was that he loved me for simply being G, like no makeup, hair a mess, just in my natural habitat. And I was like, oh my gosh, if he can love me like this, then he must be the one. Girl, we working on it. And I feel also because of everything going on between religion and telling you gotta get married and my own insecurities, I feel like I just was desperate to be chosen. I was desperate to be chosen by someone, to be validated, to be worthy of someone wanting to marry me. You know, like, wow, someone wants to marry me. I must mean something. I must be worth something. So that was a hot mess. Also, I feel like religion plays a big role also when you mix it with Disney. My belief of what love is supposed to be, I'm thinking happily ever after. I'm thinking like, I love to see the temple, we're forever married, live happily ever after. Like the Little Mermaid, my Prince Charming is gonna choose me, he's gonna pick me, he's gonna make my life better, and it's gonna be amazing. And surprise, I have learned a couple of things about love. And honey, Disney sold you some bullshit. Okay, Disney lied to us. Disney lied to us, okay? Falling in love with someone, staying in love with someone, loving someone is not the happily ever after that they talk about. It takes freaking hard ass work. With Disney, it's like growing up, now I have to realize that I'm the chooser. I choose who I bring into my life. I choose who I want to spend my life with. I don't wait for someone to be like, oh, you're good enough, I'll give you a ring, I'll put a ring on it and marry you. No, like I choose you, not the other way around. And when Disney says, and they lived happily ever after, it's like, no, and they lived with ups and downs, and someone got pissed at someone and someone broke someone's heart and they had to fix it, or maybe they didn't, maybe they got divorced, who the hell knows? So definitely what I learned from that experience is that the grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener where you water it. And when it comes to marriage and relationships, you really have to water that grass. You gotta mow it, you gotta cut it, you gotta pull the weeds out, and as well as your own grass for yourself. Because when one whole person comes together in a relationship and meets with another whole person, then you can make a really healthy, amazing relationship. But if one is trying to make up for the other lack, like, I can't love you if you don't love yourself. And that's what I found out. Like, my husband couldn't love me if I didn't love myself, because I still wouldn't feel loved. I learned so much about love languages. Oh my gosh, like, quality time is my number one love language. And I didn't have a lot of that, because my ex-husband used to drive semi-trucks. So that's really important going into a relationship, knowing that about yourself. Because if you don't know that, then how are you supposed to tell someone like, hey, I expect to be loved like this. And if you can't really meet that expectation, like, I know I'm gonna feel some type of way. Also, another thing that growing up in a religious background always taught you, it's like, one, yeah, your main goal is to get married, but also it's like, this person is your soulmate. This person is the person you're gonna spend the rest of your life with. He is the chosen one for you. He is the chosen one. And it's like, no. What I learned is that there's multiple soulmates out there. Soulmates are not found. Soulmates are created. You create a soulmate. You create someone that understands that you hate when the toothpaste is left undone, that you hate that the milk is on the left side of the fridge. Just random stuff that it takes time and effort for someone to learn that about you, to learn those icks, those ticks, those things that bother you, and make the effort to not do it. It takes time and effort, and that is not found, that is created. So I definitely learned that soulmates are created. And as well as I've been listening to some affirmations by Dulce Vida. I love her. If you don't follow her on Instagram, you should. Her name is Scorpio Mystique. Her affirmations, one of the ones that I love to listen to is called Love Mantra. And she talks about your soulmates are waiting for you. Your soulmates are out there. Your soulmates are you. I am my own soulmate. I am my own soulmate. Like, no one can love me better than I love myself if I allow myself to do that for myself. But then also, like, the world, I feel like as a single person, there's always like, everyone's always talking about like, there's no good men out there. Like, no, there are. You have to have that mentality that there are, that you have multiple soulmates out there that will match with you, that will make your life better, that will help you grow and evolve as a person. You have to believe that. And understanding that there's multiple soulmates with an S. Like, that was like a game changer for me, because then you get out of that mindset of like, oh my gosh, this person has to be the one. Like, I'm connected, we have this chemistry, like, I'll never find someone like them. But that's a fucking lie. That's a lie. You will find someone, and maybe you'll find someone better. I don't know. Maybe you'll find someone better. I feel like when my understanding of what love truly is really changed is when I digged into my self-love, when I digged into loving myself, and also when I read The Mastery of Love. That was a really amazing book. I'll link it below. And that just helped me change the perspective of just what love is supposed to look like. Because people that love you can still hurt you. In my naive mind, I felt like if you loved me, you would always like make me feel special. And that's not true. People that we love sometimes hurt us. And that doesn't mean that they don't love you. It just means that they're human. So that book really opened my eyes and perspective to that more of an abundance kind of mindset when it comes to love. And the duality of love. Because like I said, people that love you can hurt you. And that duality is like, they love you, but depending on the situation, you can still walk away from that love. And then it applies to the other thing that I learned is like, there's multiple soulmates out there. So don't believe that this is the only person for you. There's multiple people out there for you. And just because you're with this one person because you want to make it work and you want to make it grow and build together and that works for you, that's great. But just know that if they ever fuck up and you don't want to be in that situation anymore, there's still love out there for you. And I've talked about this in a couple of other episodes, but I grew up thinking love equaled sacrifice. So when I went into my first marriage, I really sacrificed for the relationship. I sacrificed my joy, I sacrificed my boundaries, I sacrificed my time, of course. I sacrificed my happiness for the other person because I truly wanted to do what was best for them. Like, how can I help them succeed? How can I make them happy? How can I not rock the boat? And that is the wrong approach to come into a relationship. In a relationship, you should feel free and open to talk about whatever is bothering you. You should be able to be in a safe space where you can truly be yourself, no matter what that self is. You know, in a relationship, you should be able to be authentically you. And if you can't do that, if you are putting on this mask to please the other person, to not piss off the other person, to not rock the boat, then that's not the relationship for you. Self-betrayal is not love. That's one of the biggest things that has changed for me. Self-betrayal is not love. And I will not be betraying myself for anybody else anymore because it starts with me. I am my own soulmate. I am my own soulmate. You are your own soulmate. And then whoever comes along, we can be soulmates together. But besides that, honey, gotta choose you. Another big thing that I just really learned this year, these last couple of months, is we're all wishing unconditional love. We're all hoping for that unconditional love. And when we talk about relationships and our partners, we're like, yeah, I love them unconditionally. But to be honest, that's a lie. That is a lie that we tell ourselves, that I'm waiting for someone to love me unconditionally. Usually the love like that we strive for, to love unconditionally, usually comes from being a parent, a mother and her baby, a father and her baby. You know, that's unconditional love. We give that unconditional love to our children. Usually when it comes to our partners, the love is conditional. If you stop loving me the way that I need to be loved, if you start disrespecting me, if you start putting me like the last priority, if you start doing harmful things for myself and the family, if you start speaking to me like I'm nobody, if you start putting me down, those are some conditions, okay? Those are some terms and conditions that if you go against the grain, it's gonna be a no for me. I'm gonna lose love for you. I'm gonna lose that love for you. So it's not unconditional. But the same thing, usually if it goes like with your kids, you're gonna love the baby no matter what. You forgive your children. So we're always looking for that true love, that soulmate that's gonna love us unconditionally, to live that happily ever after. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. It's, honey, just wipe it off. Just wipe it off the board. It's a no. 0 out of 10. Because staying anywhere where you're not respected and valued and seen, it's a sign of self-betrayal, and we're not doing it. We're not doing it. And then last but not least, the importance of having self-love. It's so important to love yourself and to know yourself before you go into any other relationship. Because if you don't, you'll start to be begging others to love you. You'll start to beg for love because it's not within you. So that's when you start getting the bare minimum, honey. And we are not bare minimum type of chicks, you know? So, and that's where I am right now in my whole evolution of love. I believe that love means that you're still choosing yourself, but you're also taking that other person into consideration. Love means that you're putting boundaries, that you're saying no to things that don't suit you with love and kindness. Love means that you go out of your way to make someone else's life easier, but at the same time, not making yours harder. Love is when I think about that person and I truly want the best for them. Love is when you can let someone go and let them live their very best life without wanting to put them in a cage. Love is being able to step back and let them do them. Let them thrive and shine without dulling their light. That is what love is for me at this moment in time. So I hope this episode allow you to just go back to yourself and kind of rethink what love means to you. And of course, how you want to be loved and how you want to show love to other people, you know? So we shall see you guys on the next video. Ciao.